Have you ever questioned the equality that you experience or lack thereof in your everyday life in India? Today, we're taking a closer look at a topic that's often swept under the rug, yet impacts countless lives daily: discrimination. It's a pervasive issue, often deeply ingrained in our societies and manifests in various forms. Understanding discrimination is the first step towards addressing it, towards ensuring a more equitable society for all. Discrimination in its various forms is a stark reality in India. Yet every individual has the right to seek justice. Discrimination does not exist in a vacuum. It is a multifaceted problem with numerous manifestations. In the diverse tapestry that is India, discrimination often rears its head in various forms. The most prevalent form is gender discrimination, where societal norms and prejudices often limit opportunities for women and transgender people. Then we have caste discrimination, a deeply entrenched issue where individuals from lower castes face exclusion and hostility. Religious discrimination is another widespread issue, with individuals being treated differently based on their faith. Next, we have disability discrimination, where individuals with physical or mental disabilities are often marginalized and denied access to opportunities. Each type of discrimination comes with its own set of challenges. It affects the victim's mental health and hinders their progress, reinforcing cycles of poverty and disadvantage. Understanding these types of discrimination is the first step towards addressing them. India has a robust legal framework to protect its citizens against discrimination. At the heart of this framework is the Constitution of India, which guarantees equality to all its citizens and prohibits discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Next, we have the Scheduled Castes and Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act, a powerful law enacted to prevent atrocities and acts of discrimination against members of the scheduled castes and tribes. This law provides for stringent punishments for those found guilty of such acts. Then there's the Protection of Civil Rights Act, a legislation aimed at eliminating untouchability and safeguarding the civil rights of individuals. It penalizes the preaching and practice of untouchability and enforces punishment for refusing to admit persons to public places. These laws serve as tools for victims to seek justice. But remember, laws are only as effective as their implementation. If you've been a victim of discrimination, you have the right to file a complaint. The process of filing a complaint begins with identifying the type of discrimination you've experienced. Discrimination can take many forms, from gender and caste to religion and disability. It's important to clearly articulate the nature of the discrimination, as this will guide your next steps. Once you've identified the type of discrimination, it's time to gather evidence. This could include witnesses who can corroborate your experience, documents that may highlight discriminatory practices, or any other evidence that supports your claim. Keep in mind, the more concrete your evidence, the stronger your case. Now that you've identified the discrimination and gathered your evidence, you're ready to file your complaint. But where should you go? This will depend on where the discrimination occurred. If it happened at work, your first step might be to file a complaint with your employer. If it's a case of public discrimination, you might need to go to the police. In some cases, you may need to file a lawsuit in court. Remember, this process can be daunting, but you're not alone. There are resources and organizations that can help guide you through this process, providing support and advice along the way. And finally, remember, filing a complaint is your right, and it's the first step towards seeking justice. Legal representation is crucial when dealing with discrimination cases. Begin by researching lawyers who specialize in discrimination law. Consult with several to understand their approach, experience, and success rate. Select someone you feel comfortable with, who listens to you and respects your perspective. Legal aid societies can provide assistance if financial constraints are a concern. They offer free or low-cost services to those in need. Remember, The right legal representation can make a world of difference in your fight against discrimination. Discrimination is a complex issue, but it's one that we can tackle together. We've explored its various forms, delved into the legal framework that protects against it, and walked through the process of filing a complaint. We've also discussed how to find the right legal representation. These are crucial steps in standing up against discrimination. Knowledge is power, and with this power, you can assert your rights. Remember, you are not alone in this fight. Stand up against discrimination and assert your rights.